Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into a landmark book, Isabel Wilkerson's The Warmth of Other Suns, A Legacy of Migration. Our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is to pull out the core understanding from this amazing work, sort of gives you the essence, why it's so crucial for understanding American history.
Absolutely. And the first thing to really grasp, I think, is the sheer scope of what Wilkerson covers. We're talking about the Great Migration, this huge, huge movement of people, over 6 million Black Americans leaving the Jim Crow South.
Right, between roughly 1915 and 1970.
Exactly. And they were searching for, well, basic freedom, dignity, opportunity, things denied to them in the South. They headed north, Midwest, West.
And what makes this book so powerful, so different, is how she tells that story. It's not like a dry history lesson full of dates and numbers.
No, not at all. It's deeply human. She focuses on the people, their personal journeys.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
It gets to the heart of the experience in a way statistics just can't.
Precisely. She does this through three central figures. Their stories anchor the whole narrative. There's Ida May, Brandon Gladney. She was a sharecropper's wife, ended up in Chicago.
Yeah.
George Starling, who picked fruit in Florida, had to flee, basically, went to New York. And Robert Foster, a physician who made his way to Los Angeles.
Different paths, different cities.
Yes, and Wilkerson shows how complex their new lives were. It wasn't simple. They found opportunity, sure, but also new kinds of discrimination, subtle stuff, systemic things in housing, jobs.
So not quite the warmth they might have hoped for, necessarily.
Sometimes not. They faced new racial tensions, different struggles. It wasn't a utopia. Wilkerson captures that complexity really well.
And the emotional side. Wow, you feel it so strongly reading this. That internal conflict of leaving home.
Yeah.
The fear,
Yeah.
stepping into the unknown.
Yeah.
And the pain, leaving everything behind.
It wasn't just about hope. For many, it was sheer necessity. Like, they had to go. Survival.
It gives you a whole different perspective than just people move north for jobs.
Totally. And connecting this to, like, the craft of the book itself, Wilkerson's writing is incredible. People talk about her poetic and precise prose. It really is that good.
How does she blend the different elements? It feels like more than just history.
Well, it is. It's this amazing mix of deep journalistic research, thousands of interviews, but also oral history, storytelling, and it has the emotional depth you'd expect from a novel.
Right, so you get the facts, but also the feeling.
Exactly. That's why people say you don't just read this book, you kind of
Yeah.
live it. You get so invested in Ida May, George, and Robert.
And this is so important for you, the listener, to understand. This isn't some side note in history. It's not just Black history.
No, it's absolutely central, essential American history.
Wilkerson really drives that home, doesn't she?
Yeah.
How this migration reshaped everything.
Fundamentally, our cities look the way they do partly because of it, our politics, our culture. The echoes are still very much with us.
It forces you to look at America in maybe a way you haven't before, a history that needs confronting.
Yeah.
So wrapping this up a bit, what's the big takeaway for you listening? I mean, if you want to understand the roots of racial inequality in America today, this book is just essential.
It really is.
It gets on your skin, makes you think, makes you feel. It changes how you view freedom, movement, belonging.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. When you understand the very personal costs, the complicated realities these individuals faced during the Great Migration, how does that help us look at today's discussions? Conversations about migration now, about who belongs where, the search for dignity and opportunity.
Right, across borders or even within them.
Exactly. Does understanding this history, this very human struggle from our past, give us a better lens for the present?
Something to definitely chew on, a
Yeah.
powerful connection.
It suggests that drive, that human quest. It's constant, isn't it?